So I wanted to make this video to demonstrate how quickly the weather can change in the mountains, and hopefully you can get some lessons from this and learn from the mistakes that I made so you don't get yourself into the same position I did on Wednesday. Lyndon and I went out to Kananaskis to hike Reed's Tower, and it was a beautifully calm day for almost, the whole hike. This here in the middle is Reed's Tower. That peak in the middle is what we were trying to attain. And the storm hit when we were about halfway up that final slope. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this is how beautiful Spray Lake looked from halfway up Reed's Tower. It didn't take very long for that to change. By about 4:30, this is what the sky looked like. So this video is going to demonstrate how quickly things can get deadly and dangerous in the mountains, and hopefully you can learn from this.
I am hiking Reed's Tower in Kananaskis, and there's a pretty wicked looking storm blowing in, and I'm trying to make the summit, which is up there. That's actually a false summit that you're looking at, but somewhere over that false summit is the real summit. Where I've come from is way down near Spray Lake, and the storm that I'm watching, let's see if I can find it in here, is about there off on the horizon. And I can hear a lot of thunder. Haven't seen any lightning yet, and it's actually kind of stupid for me to be up here in this weather, but I really need to get a check mark on this hike because I'm trying to finish this hiking book before I turn 40 next year. And this is one of the last hikes to be done before that happens, and I don't want to have to come back here and do this all over again because it was a grind getting up here.
So mistake number one that I made here was being so hell-bent on getting this hike done that I refused to accept that the situation might be dangerous. I should have gotten off the mountain a lot sooner than I did.
So I'm having to make a really tough call. I hate having to do this. I could see the top. I was almost there. But the thunder is like close, it's loud, and I just got 2 powerful shocks from my hiking poles, so I'm running for cover.
Mistake number two that I made was hanging on to those hiking poles. The minute that I saw that storm blowing in, I should have tossed them and gone back home another day.
I'm lying flat on my face in a lee, just on the sheltered side of a low point on this ridge. Now I'm no longer the tallest thing on the mountain because there's a couple trees up there.
So what I did right here was to stay as low as I can and stay out of the trees because of course they attract lightning. It sucks because you're not going to be able to move and keep warm, but you gotta keep yourself a low profile so that you don't attract the electricity yourself. So I was actually so terrified here that I was seriously going to get struck by lightning because it was so darn close that this was actually a clip that I made to say goodbye to my loved ones. So that's why I'm not playing the audio, because it's just a little on the personal side. You can see my poor dog there in the background. Poor Fender is just as absolutely terrified as I am. I felt really sorry for him that I couldn't comfort him in any way.
Oh my god.
So the lightning's so loud here, and the wind and the rain, that you can't really hear what I'm saying in the audio, so I'm just going to voice it over. It's pretty much the coldest I've ever been in my life. And one of the most terrified. Lyndon and I had gotten separated about 45 minutes earlier, so I had no one to talk to, and I was frozen solid. I'd finally gotten enough courage to sit up slightly, get some layers on before I laid right back down between lightning cracks. There were no seconds between thunder and lightning. When lightning's right next to you, you just hear the lightning. There's no thunder. And I just kept making this video because I knew I was going to want to share this with you guys. And it was also a really good distraction for me to have something to talk to, even if it was just an iPhone. Step one in avoiding getting hit by lightning and killed is to check the forecast before you go to the mountains. I did check the forecast, and it said thunder and lightning, and I went anyways, which was completely stupid. Don't do that. Step 2 is to be aware that lightning can suddenly appear at the edge of a storm 10 to 15k from where you last saw it. So if you're waiting until you see lightning on the horizon to get out of a location, you're waiting too long. You need to be out of there long before you see any lightning at all. Step 3 is to get away from exposed areas. You absolutely don't want to be the tallest thing around. So if you find yourself dealing with some exposure, get out of there as fast as you can. Step 4 is a tough one for me. Do not seek shelter under trees, no matter how cold and wet you might be getting. Trees love to channel electricity. Step 5, if you're hiking in a group, get some distance between you and the other members of your party so you avoid getting struck by lightning as a group. Step 6 kind of talks a little bit about one of the mistakes that I made in my storm. I laid flat face down on the ground, and you actually want to minimize your body surface area that comes in contact with the ground. There is a phenomenon known as side flash. What side flash refers to is lightning that travels down an object doesn't go straight necessarily into the ground and just disappear. It can travel along the ground, especially if that ground is wet, like it was during my storm. And if a distant tree had gotten hit by lightning can travel sideways along the ground and then contact me. The likelihood of that happening is minimized if my surface area with the ground is smaller. So crouch down tightly on your feet. Step 7 is what to do if you actually feel electrified. Now, when I was up on Reed's Tower, I felt 2 shocks from my hiking poles. Clearly, I should have tossed the hiking poles far away from me and not looked back. But the other thing is that if you're starting to feel a tingle or electrical sensation or your hair standing on end, then chances are lightning is actually about to strike in your vicinity. So what you want to do in that situation is crouch down low to the ground, tightly on your feet, like I said before. Close your eyes and cover your ears, and try and hold your breath. Some people have been seriously injured by breathing in the superheated air that occurs during an explosion of lightning. And if you're holding your breath, that you can minimize the chances of that. Step 8 is to make sure that at least one member of your hiking party is trained in advanced first aid. You can get wilderness medic first aid courses from the University of Calgary Outdoor Centre, as well as the Kananaskis Mountain Adventures. I've posted their websites there for you, so you can look them up if you're interested in taking any of those courses. I've also posted a few links to some more detailed information that's available on the internet about how to survive lightning storms in general. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this and learned a little bit from it. I'd like to be able to say that I learned a lesson from it as well. Unfortunately, this is the second time that I've gotten myself into this exact same situation. You'd think that I would learn after the first time, but I guess I'm a little bit more stubborn than is good for me. But yeah, so learn from my mistakes. Hopefully you don't have to make your own mistakes before you realize that the weather can change in the mountains super quickly, either for the good or for the bad. This photograph is actually Spray Lake about half an hour after the storm had passed. It's like nothing ever happened. And it just, again, emphasizes how dramatically the weather can change out there. So when you go into the mountains, you absolutely have to be prepared for any possible weather situation, and be really mindful of how the weather might be changing quickly and take action sooner than I did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I would like to be able to say that I really enjoyed making it, but parts of it were completely terrifying. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed it and learned from it.